The next skill we're going to discuss here today is skill 3, which is the dive briefing. And this is one that obviously dive masters should get a lot of exposure to as dive master candidates, conducting briefings during various course workshops and also through their careers as dive masters. This skill allows them to practice their public speaking, right? So it's something that's important for them as a developmental tool as a dive professional. And obviously this is one that you're going to structure as a role-playing scenario with other groups of divers or other dive master candidates using their dive master slates as a guide or a script in this case. So a couple preparatory tools. Obviously you're going to want your slates and they'll want their slates, their dive master slates. And on their dive master slates, as well as in the instructor manual, there's a set of 10 bullet points that they need to follow in terms of how to structure this dive briefing. And obviously you don't want them to necessarily wing it. You want to help them understand how they would fill in additional information for each of those 10 points to provide a complete briefing, right? So again, slates may come in handy here. They can write briefing points, different bullet points on there. That blank slate as well. They can write out different bullet points there if you like. You could also utilize the map from the mapping project and have them build a briefing based around that environment as well, right? Which would be a nice foundational tool for structuring a dive briefing. But some points here that they need to cover obviously is going to be something important, the dive site name itself. They're going to need to describe that dive site as well with adequate details to what you're doing there. Their role and the diver's role and how they could recognize you underwater if that's appropriate, right? Entry and exit techniques for that location. Different dive procedures as they apply to that location and what we're going to be doing on that dive site. The emergency procedures, again, it's all coming together from the other exercises we've discussed. Where are the first aid and O2 kits, right? Signal review specific to the dive, right? So just a review of different signals, or if there's a specific animal there that has a specific signal and you want to highlight what that is. The roster and buddy check review as well, right? So building that in there. And then a nice environmental orientation, very important, in terms of how the site's laid out, what kind of things we should look out for there, things of interest, and obviously ways to help preserve that environment as well to minimize our impact to it. And then of course, ending with a pre-dive safety check as well, right? So those are the 10 bullet points. Again, those are listed in the instructor manual and on the dive master candidate slates for them to utilize when they're structuring this briefing, right? But you want to make sure as the instructor that you're listening, that each of those 10 points is covered in some fashion. And then after they've given their attempt at their first briefing, you go back and help them fill in any gaps there may be with those 10 points, right? But the point is you want them to eventually be able to do this in a way that seems natural, where they can smile and appear relaxed at least, right? Interacting with the role-playing divers as best they can during their briefings, providing different positive reinforcements or answering questions that those role-playing divers may have, right? And then you offer your suggestions for improvement for their future briefings.